Okay, everybody. Welcome to Dad's Free Time Let's Plays. This is, well, I'll let you know. Well, in a time when all the humans had to leave because their president was actually an alien in the world. And then there were a whole bunch of weird aliens that aren't one specific race, just a whole bunch of aliens that were made up. Only one man and woman can stop this bullshit. And we had them in a cryogenic chamber healing. And they all had adamantium bones. This is Run. Saber. Burr, 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 burr. Alright, everybody. Welcome to Dad's Free Time Let's Plays. This is your boy Yusef, and y'all are all my ninjas. Uh, let me go ahead and first say that Run Saber, I played the game without. I cheated, essentially, because I wanted to see how the whole game worked out without having to play it for 21 million hours and trying to figure out how to perfect the game. Now, I know there are people like that out there that do perfect games. I'm not that guy. I complete games, okay? So, whatever. Anyway, Run Saber is a game that is a knockoff of Strider. Because Genesis had the copyright for Strider and Run Saber, or SNES. Super Nintendo did not. So their option was to make a nice knockoff, and I like it. And actually, it makes me want to play the Strider game. Anyway, you jump up in the air, or one of the Run Saber has a good amount of controls. If you jump, you can jump straight up. You can strike regular. You can't strike in any different direction, of course. However, you do have like this little buzzsaw energy jump that you do when you press jump and up. And, I mean, it's a halfway decent game. Now, I did it with cheats, so do I suggest that you do it without cheats and master the game all by yourself? No. The hit system is pretty lame because nobody falls back when you strike somebody. Everything is a one-hit kill except for the bosses. And when you hit the bosses, they just kind of run through the hit and they hit you. If you jump into the bosses and hit them, you basically fall right into them. And it is retarded, okay? Anyway, Run Saber. Oh, it's a good game. Whatever. This is the third time I'm recording the audio over this game because the last time I recorded it, my microphone didn't engage, and you guys think I got a nasally voice now. Just wait till you hear my nasally voice when it's also combined with me peaking on the microphone. It's like, yeah. First time I had a normal microphone and it wasn't picking up my voice. Apparently, because the area I was in was too big. It's catching my echoes too. It's weird. I have a lot to learn about sound. Anyway, obviously I picked a girl because I always pick the girl. It's one thing I think is unique about me is that I pick the girl. When you give me a choice, I pick the girl pretty much every time because what's the point of having like a unstoppable white girl if nobody uses it? Why wouldn't you use the girl? I mean, true, this was probably a 90s game. The 90s trope was that you knock the girl out and then you go save the day as a dude, but come on now. Girls kick ass. At least in the video games they do. In real world, they kick ass, but only a certain few, not every single one of them. Some of them are lame. All right, that's equality. We got a lot of lame dudes. We can have lame chicks. I don't have to. I don't have to act like a woman who's lame is good just because you think it's fair. So the first stage here, we're obviously in some sort of rocket silo, some WMD, some weapons of mass destruction, and these were basically killing off all their alien engineers. Like these guys were working on the missiles, and then I showed up and I started killing everybody, and they didn't have security. Apparently, they only had the engineers, and the engineers were ugly aliens. So here we are. We're in the first missile silo. That is the bottom of a missile. See, apparently they were sending missiles out, but the missiles were actually guys with blow torches. Or maybe these are like the most industrial engineers that they got. You know what I mean? The kill. Alright, here's the spot where I show you something special. Now, the rocket over there that shows the crash would show that the rocket at the top blew up, and that's where I should have been fighting the monster out. But if you look again, the monster came out of the bottom, so there was like a miscommunication between the people who made the backgrounds and the people who made the sprites. Like it was supposed to be coming out the bottom, not the top here. Weird. Come on, let's go. I'm probably showing you guys how to do the little kick. Anyway. If you push start and then select, it changes the colors on your character. I thought that was really awesome. I went for a different color than the original one. I'll probably do that in the art as well, you know. Anyway. Kind of gotta love this little 90s art style and the music. It's so hard hitting. It's all about them balls, son. Alright, second boss. See, what would happen basically is that you basically gotta kill all the blue girls, and then the red one comes out and you kill that one. You get, like, it gives you 8 spots for energy, right? But they're very stingy when it comes to how much energy you can actually have. You know, you die and you come back and you get a little, like, 3 red things. Now, I don't know why they don't give you more. And I went into the options menu to see if I can get more energy on general principle, and it wouldn't let you. Which, lame. I'm glad he kind of comes back when you hit him. I also had the super attack thing going. Oh, that was quick. So, word to the wise, if you're animating an airplane exploding, what you want to do is you want to have the airplane go into the background and then explode, as opposed to it falling straight to the ground. You jump to the ground, the airplane just goes backwards. Alright, on to Tong City. Sing that Tong song. Tong ta tong tong tong. Ooh, that dress is scandalous. And this part was a little weird because it's what, Tong City, so it's like Chinese. So it's basically like a cheesy Chinese place, but with aliens, but not aliens that come out. There was a see, that's a health up. It only gives you one little thing back. It wasn't, aliens that come out of statues. You know, that's the like, when you're an alien race, you want to come up with a bunch of helpful alien bad guys, and not ninjas per se, but you want aliens that come out of statues. All right, because look, you guys all seen those people that kind of chill out at the park, right? That just they paint themselves in silver or bronze, and they just freeze like a statue, and you're supposed to be so amazed at their ability to not move that you give them some money. Like, that's basically what these guys do 24/7. Like, they're basically frozen security guards. They come in, they clock in, you know what I mean? They go to their little the little kiosk, type their passcode in, and then they say, "How's it going, John?" And John goes, "I'm doing all right. How are you doing?" He's like, "I'm fine. Can I put my lunch in the same place as I did last week?" And John goes, "Yeah, sure. Why not?" They put their little baggy lunch down, and they go off into the area that, a little base, little marble base, and then they just stand there and they freeze, waiting for you to come by with your lightsaber, and then they go, "Ha ha! I've been waiting for this for like 20 years." All right, now the this boss here is a redhead, and he screws you good, man. Except the fact that he died very quickly. Well, I'm more effective at this game than I thought. Every time you die, you get a super move, right? But since I don't die in this game, I don't get my super move. So I must be collecting the extra super move somewhere else. No, I die in this game plenty of times. Here are the flying Nimbus ninjas. I like how they just float around with like a little cape, like a little kid would if he's running around pretending he was Superman. Uh-oh, here come some more of those statue guys. Maybe they're like those, uh-oh. Here comes the most annoying reoccurring guy ever. He's like, "I throw knives, and I do fire attacks." See, the super move is basically what I do when I get sick and tired of actually having to fight the guys, because the actual play controls are weird. Her jump is floaty, and it's hard to control, and they try to make up for it by making that invincible cartwheel attack. But you also can't really control where you're striking your sword, which makes it like, I don't know. When it comes to platformers and stuff like that, like, I feel like the way they had the games work, they were just going for the bare minimum. There's not a lot of psychology that goes along with the games, and that's a shame, because some of these games could be timeless. If they even, it's obvious they tried a lot with this game. just to kind of miss the mark on that thing. It's a shame. Like if I bought the game, I would be instantly excited, and then playing it for about 15 minutes, I'd be very upset. To be real, like this playthrough was fun. It was enjoyable, but these little like the play controls of the character weren't tight enough for me to, enjoy it on a I'm skilled level. But at the same time, the girl could do so much. It was supposed to be much better than that. You know what I mean? Whatever. Doing this much whining. We're on the second stage. Ouch. See, and mind you, I'm trying my best not to die, because even though I'm invincible, I mean, it's no fun just to try and bust my way through it, you know? Ah. It's another thing. You got a sword, but it's a little hard to judge the distance between you and the sword. You gotta be like a maniac on drawing that sword to make sure that like everybody is at the tip. Get it? All right, this one was an interesting bad guy. I kind of got lucky because I got the extra power on my Saber for this one. So with the extra power on your Saber, you can kill the end bosses a little bit faster. Alright, so that's stage 2 down. Jod Valley? Jew Valley? Jod Valley? Let's do it. Alright, first start off with an eagle that's hard to kill and just keeps diving down for some reason. It feels like this eagle was put there just to make you lose life. Like I had to use the super move because I couldn't attack. I can't attack upward, and I couldn't get him with the jumping thing. That's the only time it's in the stage, by the way. See, look at that. They did this game a severe injustice by not making characters that can angle the lightsaber. You get hit way too many times just because the bad guys are on different levels than you can strike. That rope up there is classic 90s. That was horrible. Because it was a knockoff on Strider, I kind of want to play Strider just to see if like if the character was like that bad in Strider, you know what I mean, where he couldn't angle anything. Don't worry, I'll play it. See what I mean? Like third stage, those things are getting on your nerves because you can't strike upwards. Now you gotta stand in a strategic position to strike. Also, I want to go ahead and say this. If you don't like Windows 10, it gets irritating because the Windows 10 keeps jumping in on your Windows 7 and then telling you that it'd be nice to upgrade for free. We all know what you guys are trying to do. The kill. Bam, 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 bam. That guy was horrible. See, everything else is a one-hit kill in this game except for this guy. He takes 3 hits, and when you actually step on the thing, he starts moving faster. Like, after a while, you start to feel like these... Look, he hit me with the tail. That's horrible. Like, after a while, you start to feel like these things are just put on the screen to drain you of energy. And it's more about your ability to get lucky or dodge them than it is about your ability to hit them. And I'm more of an aggressive gamer. I want to be offensive as much as possible. I don't like games that make me play defensively too much. I'm just trying not to get hit. It's lame. Alright. Time to kill the bionic lizard man with the stretchy arm. Oh, I died. Which means I have more super moves. Yeah, bitch. Now you die. Uh-oh. They just launched a big missile. Okay, I could have done more to dodge that, but what? Still alive. Dude, being a super cyborg has its advantages, yo. One of those advantages being that big nuclear missiles don't kill me or the area around me. Another thing that's weird about this game is that there are like absolutely no secrets. Like you could just play the game straight through and there's little to no replay value except for the fact that it's unnecessarily hard. Look, I have to use that. Oh, there's a secret. Extra man. Okay. I must be calibrating my saber. I'm actually amazed at how fast she can swing the saber over and over. Oh, jeez, really? Yeah, give me my extra life. If you want to be thorough and kill everything on the screen, man, that gets you. Alright, the strategy for this guy is kind of simple, but it's hard to execute. His movement is like a 45-degree angle down from the ground, so if you can stay from like in between his fire and his body, then you should be okay. Just when he jumps back, kind of gives you a problem because he goes back to the same spot. You kind of have to memorize the pixel he always comes back to so you don't get hit. What? Go ahead and ice this fool. See, in this one, I didn't have the special thing. Go ahead and use it. Yeesh. I like his I like his death animation. They just flattened the character and then made the explosions. Alright, that stage is done. Stage 3 cleared. Let's go to the gray fac. What the fac? Uh, I I assume it stands for facility. And what is more of a facility than swinging spiked balls and lava pits? Oh, at least she didn't fall off when she got hit. That's a plus. Now we gotta fight the little guys in scientist coats with guns. Where are they? They're pulling those guns out of their head or something? It's just like, what are they squeezing their little sacks up there and then pulling out a machine gun? What is that? Sometimes it's weird because they throw in these bad guys and they have a plethora of bad guys. I mean, there's more bad guys in this game than I see in most AAA games, if you know what I mean. Like for a generic knockoff game, they're highly creative. I mean, look at this guy. He's a knight on like a hovercraft. What the hell does he do during his normal day job when people aren't attacking the fac? Or they just like release the mechanical knight? They're like, but sir, he still is vulnerable in his armor. The kill. Psh, psh, psh. This part I was a little irritated about because, let's face it, there's spikes coming at you, but you're basically backtracking in the stage, right? It's weird. Like, you can't really figure out what you're supposed to be doing. I mean, the arrow's supposed to be telling you where to go. But you can't really figure out what you're supposed to be doing because you're being bombarded with spikes, so you have to spend all your time dodging. But then, at the same time, you gotta figure out where you're going. And if you backtrack in the stage, you're like, am I going the right way? I'm backtracking. I mean, I don't get it. Ah. See, I wish I could count the amount of hits that I'd sustained because I couldn't just strike upward. And they added that little somersault attack. I would rather be able to control my strikes better. Look at those guys. They don't even want to get touched. So what does that even mean? Ugh. How you like that background, by the way? It's weird the way they made the mountains. It looks like the mountains are all on a flat plane, like the houses are all on a flat plane and not, kind of curved. But they did a great job. Look at that. Look at how the background moves along. Fire! It's time for the other most annoying guy. It's like they ripped him right out of Fist of the North Star, isn't it? They were like Mega Man and Fist of the North Star. Here you go. Nice dodge. See, what the hell is that? You strike the guy. Like, if you strike the guy with the somersault, you have to be close to him, so you automatically get hit when you hit him. Because he's not gonna fall backwards. That's ridiculous. Look, with three bars of energy, it basically becomes a game of how you can not get hit. And you can either use offense, which is flawed because if the person takes more than one hit, they're not going to fall backwards when you strike them, so you're automatically going to take a hit every time that person gets hit, right? Then if you want to dodge everything, that's flawed too because your jump is really slow. Like you can't quite memorize everything in this game. Alright, now this bad guy, you basically cannot strike him in this area. Basically. I say basically a lot. My co-host in the podcast mentioned that. It made me feel all insecure about it. He's like, is it like saying basically? It's like, basically, yes. So here, you gotta just kind of strike him on the head while he's doing his laps here. And he looked like a guy just going on an afternoon walk with his hands. Then here you have to try and stay around his midsection so you can strike his missiles as they come out, which is easier said than done. If you're standing at the right place when the missiles come out, they'll come straight for you and you can get them with the your Saber. Also, I happen to have the Super Saber power up, which makes him last a lot less longer than he would normally. I got lucky. The idea on the power-ups is that you want to kill as many people as possible because they drop randomly. It is time to go to brew food. Brew food. They got exploding heads. It's one of those games you can't backtrack. Which I never understood those games. It's like they're filling in the rest of the stage as you go along, so they can't let you show the first part of the stage. Can't get that, can I? Nope. Anyway, the power-ups drop randomly. You want to destroy as many people as possible so you can get more power-ups. But the in this stage, they give you a lot of health power-ups. Like, just in case you didn't know what it was. This is another monster that ticks you off because you have to jump into him because he's above you. And at the same time, you don't have a strike upwards. So it kind of screws with your life. I'm sure somebody came up with a really good pattern against him, but look, that's ridiculous. The monster's just there for you to lose energy. Killing these guys is pointless because you don't get any. You'll like fall past the power-ups, right? Get my little fire kick going. Wouldn't that be cool? Whenever you kicked, your whole foot lit up. Like even if it's just like a jumping side kick, your foot's just like on fire. It's the head guy again. That was lame. See, these guys are just made to wear your energy down. I appreciate a challenge, but if you had this guy at the beginning, you should be able to smoke him pretty much without being touched if you played this game about 3 ways through. You know what I mean? You can't go back on that. That's weird because there's a platform right there that you just jumped off. Like in my mind, it doesn't make sense in regular logic. At least when the machines shoot fireballs at you, you can like slice through the fire. Oh, I made it. Thought I was gonna die for sure. I have no idea how these elevator platforms are supposed to work. Furthermore, this is. We started out this area in an organic area, which I thought was going to be like Contra, you know what I mean? Like the final stage in Contra, where it's all organic. But then all of a sudden, we're like dealing with elevator hover platforms with swivel guns. Dead. Oh, some good old-fashioned platforming. There should have been more platforming in this game. They added the platforming right at the end. That's not cool. They should have had more platforming to try and break up the monotony of having to battle guys without hitting upward. Oh boy. The walls have teeth. So I kind of got messed up because I thought this was the bad guy. The alert button is popping up there, or the alert flash is popping up there, and I thought this guy was going to just like lean up and then start striking me with these weird hands or something. But nothing happened, so I figured that you needed to just kind of jump through the bottom. And then guess what? It's this douchebag again. Fire! I really hate that guy. Get him! Ah, fudge. Oh, it must be nice when you receive hits, you don't even notice it happen. Every time I get hit, I do a Jackie Chan flip in the air. Every time they get hit, they either explode or just stand there, walk right through it. That must be the power of the alien race, you know? No, they fell back at least. Explosive. Extra man. All right, this one is a 3-level boss. You just gotta knock out each level. I suggest you knock out the one at the bottom first, because the one at the bottom is the easier one. But it'll be annoying if you ignore him. Oh, they gave me another power saber. I almost forgot. Oh, I took that guy out. Okay, so let me rephrase that. It's easier to deal with the guy at the top first, and then time the guy's bottom thing. Although I want to know what he's chewing that makes him shoot light beams out his mouth. Okay. So then I was completely wrong. Did you see me die because I came down on that guy's head? Lame. Alright, here's the deal. You want to hit the guy in the face, and then his stomach opens up, and then you hit him in the stomach. Because apparently his stomach is his weakness. Which, you know, I guess if it was like a warthog boss. I guess if it was a warthog boss, that would be pretty bad. Now, I don't know why they put the other platforms there or anything. They all seem like a waste of time. And if you use the super move, you gotta make sure the stomach is open before you use it. So hit him in the face, and then super move your way out of it. A few times in this recording, I used the super move before I actually... Like, see here? Stomach was protected, so all I really did was open up the stomach for an attack. You can't strike upward, so your ability to protect yourself is garbage. That's another waste of one. There we go. Ah, boo. Strike him in the face and then do the super move. There we go. See, that did it. Alright. The kill. Alright, y'all. That is the end of the game, and you have made it through another one with yours truly, Yusef. Thanks for joining Dad's Free Time Game Reviews, and let's go ahead and watch as this ends. I think it's very interesting that the ground she's on is moving towards the right, but the sky is moving towards the left. I wonder if that's the way it really works. If you're running, the clouds go the direction you're running. It's weird. But anyway, I think the game was well done, even though it has a whole bunch of flaws, and obviously I wouldn't play this game. I wouldn't play this game like Mega Man. You can play because it's hard, but I mean it's good. This game just has mechanical flaws all over it, and it's irritating. And there's things there that are meant to drain your energy, and even though that sucks. I don't like games that do that. Hard to beat is one thing, but it needs to have a calculated, troublesome thing, you know. Anyway, isn't that sweet? Oh, into the families. I wonder if that's the family that they showed at the beginning of the game, looking out the window at all the people trying to escape the planet Earth. Damn, these not a lot of people made this one, huh? They're like stretching out the they're already hitting you with the special thanks. Anyway, thanks again. That's the end. I'll see you again. Free Mac Martin. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.